Botnick, why is it that you want the house sold?
Well, Jody mentioned that as well because...
I didn't ask what he did. I asked, why do you want it sold?
Or my client can answer the question.
So moving on, she actually addresses right here the allegations that she's cheating on her husband.
So you are also communicating with another gentleman now, aren't you?
I have a friend that I text, but I'm not...
A male friend?
Yes.
That you are anticipating and romantically texting, correct?
He lives in Chattanooga, so...
I didn't ask where he lives.
Okay, well, no, we don't talk like that.
You don't
He's
talk
a support a friend because I'm going through this and I need a friend. And I don't have a lot of girlfriends that really care, so I'm reaching out to him as a...
We're going to subpoena your text records from him.
Oh.
And I'm asking you right now, we've already established that you embellish or tell falsehoods, and I'm asking you right now to create a record because we have a court reporter. They are not romantic in nature. Is that correct? Yes or no?
We don't really talk like that over text.
Yes or no?
Not
I guess I just don't look at it that way.
Not what y'all are going to do when your divorce is over. Can't wait to see him. And so you are not romantically involved with anybody.
I did sleep with him. But we don't talk about it.
Look at, look at.
You understand, I called you as a witness first, and I asked you if you were seeing anybody, didn't I?
I'm not seeing him. He lives in
Oh,
Chattanooga.
you're just having sex with him?
Yeah.
I had sex with him twice.
Twice? Oh, I did sleep with him. Now I have
But we
slept with him
don't text
multiple
about
times.
He lives in Chattanooga. I slept with him twice.
Right. Where?
And 2 times in a hotel.
Oh.
Where?
One time in a hotel, 1 time in a hotel.
Where?
You're still married.
First time was Nashville. Second time was in Murfreesboro.
Oh, you travel around the
paid for it.
country for dick.
He did.
So you're looking for somebody else to start taking care of?
Yeah.
No, I don't want him. We don't even really talk now because I thought I was going to work it out with my husband.
This guy chose the absolute wrong woman to marry. 3 baby fathers for 3 children. Was pregnant when he proposed. And 3 months after she popped the baby out, married her.
Your Honor, if I could, I'm here on behalf of my client, Mr. Joseph Tootle. We filed a complaint for absolute divorce in this matter. It's a very, very short-term marriage. The parties were just married in September of 2023.
Okay.
And what we have, Your Honor, is that the crux of this case and really the only asset of this marriage comes down to the parties prior to their marriage purchased a home at 1047 Yellow Creek Highway. My client put down a significant down payment on the home. Well, the down payment was put prior to the marriage, and the purchase was right after the parties married. The property is approximately between $700,000 and $800,000 home, has a significant mortgage on it. What we're asking, Your Honor, is for exclusive possession of the home. Mrs. Botnick, again, this is a short-term marriage. Mrs. Botnick has 3 children from prior relationships. In fact, she was with child at the time of the parties' marriage that is not my client's child.
What?
And she has just finished another custody matter with that child's father. And again, she's not contributing financially. They purchased a vehicle that she is driving, and we are asking that she and the children, and she's allowed her mother, Miss Carol Ledford, to move into the home also.
The mama's
so there's
there.
6 people cohabitating in this home, and my client is having to pay all of meet the financial responsibility of the home. So it's our request that she be ordered to vacate the premises, or in the alternative, given the fact that herself, her 3 children, and her mother are living there, that my client pays 1/6 and she pays 5/6 of all the expenses associated with the home. The home, again, we're going to have an issue. The home has just been purchased. It's very unlikely that there's significant equity. She is not in a position, it's our claim that she's not in a position to buy my client out of the home or get the home refinanced into her own name.
Okay.
But she is not contributing, and she has now begun having extramarital relations, and as a result of that, we want her out of the house.
This sucker married her when it sounds like she had 3 kids. 1 was currently cooking at the point of marriage, does not make any money, moved her mama in, and is now cheating on him. Absolutely ridiculous work. But the information of interest is that down payment on home, which he wants her out of, and rightfully so if she's cheating. Down payment was made prior to marriage, but then the house wasn't closed on until they were married. This guy made so many mistakes.
The approximate purchase price was $800,000.
20% was paid down, which is approximately $160,000.
By the man. She ain't paid none of it. And her name's on the deed.
We have filed before the court today is a motion to sell the marital residence, and we would propose that upon its sale, the net proceeds be paid into court, and then we can proceed with the divorce.
Wow.
In that regard. But I would submit to the court there's no basis to grant Mr. Tootle exclusive possession of the marital home. Ms. Bachnick's name is on the deed. It's a marital asset, and submit that she's entitled to reside there just as much as he is.
Wow. This is what happens when you take on liabilities. She had all of their kids and you said yes. She had no way to make significant income and you still said yes. She moved her mama in and you still said yes. You put her name on the deed.
State your name, please, ma'am.
Jordan Lindsay Bachnick.
And Ms. Bachnick, where do you work?
Envision Healthcare.
And what do you do for Envision Healthcare?
I'm an AP specialist.
And what does that mean?
Accounts payable. I work for the same company as Joseph.
And what is your rate of pay?
$22 an hour.
You work 40 hours a week?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have 3 children by how many different men?
3.
And how much child support do you get?
I get child support 1 kid and $697.
$697 for what child?
1 child. And I don't get child support from the other 2.
What child do you get the $190?
Sailor, the baby.
Not only was she a single mother, but she was a single mother 3x by 3 other different men. And you still said yes to all of that. This is why there's so much literature or so much media that expect men to be these altruistic, forever forgiving of a woman's past. Meanwhile, her past was the biggest red flag. But you submitted yourself to the red flag the size of Haley's comet for what? Damn, did he walk into this situation?
You were in fact pregnant with Sailor at the time that you married?
No.
Or right after you had just had the child?
I just had him. He was born in June and I got married in September.
You proposed to a woman that was pregnant with another man's child.
When did your mother move into the home?
She started staying there in October.
October of 2023, right after y'all married in September, is that correct?
Right.
And what was the reason?
She was helping me with the kids, helping us with the kids.
How much does she pay to live there?
She helps with the kids, so in return, she gets to stay there.
Okay, she helps with your children.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
This is crazy.
And so you're just giving her free room and board?
This guy's a pillow cushion.
For helping me watch the kids.
What does she do for a living?
She works at Walmart.
Oh, she works. She could afford her own crib.
So she's capable of paying something to live there?
Well, she's helping me watch the kids.
That wasn't the question.
At the point in time, did you admit to your husband that you only married him for financial security?
No.
You sure about that?
Yes.
That's your statement under oath?
Yes.
Did you threaten at the point in time when he told you he wanted a divorce, did you threaten to throw yourself against the wall so that you could get an order of protection and kick him out of the house?
No.
Allowed any of your minor children to operate any motor vehicle in and around the property?
I let my son drive down the driveway.
And he ran over shrubs and things, is that correct?
1 shrub.
And that's your 12-year-old or your 10-year-old?
I let my 10-year-old.
Your 10-year-old's driving a vehicle that caused some slight damage to the property, is that correct?
He drove down the driveway and ran over a shrub.
Did you replace it?
No, not yet.
Okay. Do you allow your children to shoot arrows into the drywall of the home? You didn't sit there and videotape it and laugh at it?
I videotaped my son shooting an arrow into a cardboard box.
Not into the garage and damaging the property?
No.
Have you contributed to the house payment?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm paying for everything else.
What is everything else that you're paying for?
Groceries to stay in the house, and I pay for all my kids. Groceries, clothes.
Pay any of the utilities?
No.
What kind of vehicle are you driving?
A Tahoe.
2021 Chevy Tahoe?
Yes, ma'am.
You acknowledge that the down payment on the home came from his separate funds, do you not?
I'm going to object. That calls for a legal conclusion.
I'm sorry?
I object. That calls for a legal conclusion as to what separate funds are.
I'll rephrase the question. Did you have any money when the contract was made on this house?
I had my own money.
How much did you have?
At the time, I don't recall how much I had.
Did you pay $160,000 down on this house?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No, I didn't put money down on the
Okay,
house.
why did you say you don't recall?
Well, to your question before that,
Objection asked and answered.
no, I did not pay money on the house.
You know that your husband had money that he put down on this house that was not your money.
Right. After we were married, though, he paid money on the house.
And he paid for your attorney for your paternity actions too, didn't he?
He helped pay for my attorney with Nick.
And how much was that?
What she made was for her.
So you want to ask her questions now, or you want to wait?
What he made was for the family.
When did y'all become romantically involved?
Throughout the time I've known her. Different instances.
And she was having relations with other people during that time too?
Objection leading.
Correct. I put down earnest money in August.
How much did you put down?
It's $10,000 in earnest money.
And you put down on the house?
Roughly 160 plus the 10,000.
And where was the source of that money?
Came from my income. 120 was in savings. 40 I took a loan against my 401k.
Is there still a loan on the 401k?
Yes.
You took out a loan.
Comes out of
for
my paycheck.
gold digger.
How much did y'all purchase the home for?
It was 760.
And what is the monthly payments?
4,200. That doesn't include insurance and taxes.
Did both of you sign the mortgage?
I'm the only one on the mortgage.
Both of you are on a
You know
deed,
why?
but you were only on the mortgage.
It was better to qualify for interest rate under my income than using both.
So even though
that's
the
what
house is
God,
in
you
joint
walked into
names,
a
the
movie
mortgage
truck.
is only in your name?
Correct.
Damn. But because of love, because he puts this woman on a pedestal and wants to provide her the entire world, he is broke. This is what happens when you don't have boundaries. This is what happens when you are a wet noodle. This is what happens when you do not stand up for yourself as a man. This is what happens when you cannot say no.
What's led to you Your Honor, we'll move that in as the next exhibit.
But she wants the land in the house.
First exhibit, is it not?
Yes, that first one. What's led to you filing this divorce, sir?
We started having issues in October, which was relatively shortly after being married. She even told me that her therapist and her had discovered that through their therapy that she wasn't really in love with me, and that she wanted consistency and stability for her kids,
Yeah.
and thought that she could love me over time. At that point in time, we talked about getting a divorce. We tried to work it out multiple times, and we kind of wound up back at the same spot.
Because she wants money.
So she had to go to therapy to figure out she didn't love you? Has she contributed anything financially to this marriage?
Other than groceries for her and her kids, no.
Has she made any threats towards you?
Multiple.
Tell me about those.
We got into an argument.
Verbal argument, physical argument, what?
Verbal argument. I'm not a physical person. And we talked about, in that argument, divorce came up, and she wanted me out of the house. She said she would throw herself against the wall and call the cops, say I did it. That was one occasion. Another occasion, she threatened, or she said she'd called the cops. So I said I'd come to the house, wait for the cops to get there. They never came. Recently, as 2 weeks ago, she said that she was going to call the cops, that I'd hit her in front of her 12-year-old, which obviously I didn't. So multiple times that's happened, to the point where I had to get a camera for the room I stay in.
Good.
To make sure that anything would be videoed to show that I'm not
Violent.
a physical person.
Right. Holy moly. Put cameras in
And-
your cribs.
Another thing that kind of got me a little bit, I guess, I came home one day, we were in a fight, and they were going to do a fire in the fire pit that we have, even though we're in the middle of a drought and a heavy windstorm. And when I said not to do it, I was told that not to talk to our kids at all that day.
Did they?
They did not start the fire, thankfully.
So you have financial responsibility for these children, but you don't have father responsibility for these children. Imagine being in your own hold, held hostage by the woman that you married through the decisions, the choices that the children are making, and you being unable to do anything about it. This man simped his way to a horrible life based off of the symmetry in her face. Crazy.